For today's meditation, I want to talk about men wedded to the stars, because that's what I feel connected to. I think when I think about the verse, "My Father who art in heaven," I think of the stars. That's who I think about. I think about that's my destiny. That's where I'm going. That's my consideration. So I'm not a guy who thinks a lot about life in the office. I don't really think about career stuff that much. I've never been really wedded to career things, but I am wedded to my vision for the stars. And I think that's where men are going. And I'm going to be direct here and say that if women want to go, they can. But I don't think women are going to get us to the stars. I think the destiny of men is in the stars. And I think that's a certainty and a poetic necessity, really, to understand. So all of the furor going on around, men being worthless and useless or lonely, or, I think the touchstone to get men's attention, to get my attention, is to understand my destiny is in the stars. It's not here. I think here's where we have to arrive. We have to be here in order to get to the stars, because it's part of our manifestation to be able to understand that. So our arrival here on this planet as manifested beings is what allows us to develop the awareness, the consciousness of our destiny in the stars. To me, it's just so clear, and men have sought that since the beginning of time. Our focus has been the stars. Some of us, have kids and families and picket fences and Little League, but I will guarantee you that if you start talking to a man about the stars, the attention will shift very quickly. The concentration will shift. The interest will shift. The enthusiasm will shift. Because that's where we're supposed to be. And I think there are forces at work here that want to keep us on this place, keep us manifested. They don't want to see us leave. And they are those who think history is a kind of a fixed piece, that history repeats itself, that we are in a material world. I think we call them communists. They don't want us to leave. They don't have a vision for the stars. And they don't have that vision because their minds are trapped in their personalities. This is a huge, huge thing. In Genesis, one of the aspects of creation, or one of the stories of creation, is that we came from the earth. We are from dirt. And it's important to understand that part of us, the being that's in front of this camera, did in fact come from this earth. So I am part of the organic material of earth. I am this stuff here. And I fully understand that. And part of me that is of this stuff is my personality. And it is that personality which I have, which allows me to further understand the nature of my being. It creates a distinction. It creates a duality. Now, that duality can be complementary. It can be sympathetic and cooperative, or it can be dualistic. It can be competitive. These are very subtle points. The fact of duality is that in its competitive nature, it is the birthplace of evil. And why is it evil? It's evil because it concentrates the human personality to consider only itself. So it is a concentrated personality which in fact embraces the very organic nature of who we are, i.e., that is the beast. It is the beast that we embrace if we subsume ourselves in personality. If you want to reach for the stars, it is your being that is going to go to the stars. And I can't stress that enough. That's my most innermost realization. You know, I've spoken many times about having a spiritual awakening, having a awareness of the divine that came into my life as a descent, really, a being, an entity descended on me and embraced me and filled me with joy and love and connection. And I was a young boy. It was overwhelming. It was intense. It was beyond belief. And it was, as I have meditated on many, many times, a connection that represents to me now, as I am an old man, my connection to the stars. That's where I'm going. That's where men will go. And I'm happy if women want to go too, but I don't know that they're going to be the facilitators of starcraft. You know, I think they will be welcome to join us in this interstellar journey, this star journey to another kind of destiny as the universe expands even more. And we get to go along. So I see myself in that role. You know, I've just never really come around to the potentialities of ultimate fulfillment on earth. It just has never occurred to me. I mean, I don't think of it. I don't know any man that does think of it. I think we want to do well to expand our horizons, to increase our reach, our power as beings, to find our calling, and that's really more what I'm saying. I'm not talking about power as in the power of tyrannical governance. Some find their way there, and that is their personalities blossom in that, and they end up becoming a sort of psychopathic or bestial. I'm not sure which is the easier for them, but both occur regularly. And so I'm asking you today to meditate on the fact of your being a starman, that your destiny, along with mine, is in the stars. That's what I want to talk about. You know, I have some sort of literary buddies, as it were, who I read on Substack. I highly recommend you go to Substack and read some of the stuff. It's fantastic. It's great stuff, and there are all kinds of futurists and anarcho people, you know, looking back to, you know, reintegrate, you know, Hellenic pantheons. Fine, that's good. We're not going back there. It's not going to happen. The Hellenic pantheon is in the stars now. And it is, as it was then, emanating constantly. But we can't go back to that mindset, that primitive mind, or that, I shouldn't say primitive because they're really pretty sharp people, that early mind, that mind with less of a reach in the way that we can reach today. And so I don't want to go back there. I admire that. I admire the sense of emanation that the beings of the cosmos are right here. They're all around us. I don't think they've gone away. I don't think there's any sort of a reason for them to have suddenly abandoned the planet. You know, I think they're still here. They can be recognized. They can be understood. Perhaps not in the way of the rational mind or ordinary thinking. The ordinary reality is not going to encompass what's going on in the cosmos. I think leaving our thinking and finding in our imagination the way to understand our destiny in the stars. So I look at it as a continuation of the great myth of the Holy Grail, the unfinished myth of the West. And I think we have an opportunity to begin to use our imagination to think, well, what if the Grail really is more found in the cosmos? What if we journey in the imagination that the Grail provides to understand our calling more in depth in the context of an imaginal world that has yet to unfold before us, but that can and will unfold before us? It's us. We are able to do that. And I think that we need to not stop, to consider ourselves complete in this manifestation, or that history is going to endlessly repeat itself, denies the imagination of the Grail, denies the gift of the Grail, which is our imagination, and it is a divine gift. And I don't want to reject that gift or ignore it or pretend it's not there. It is there. And it's for all of us to take a draft, to fulfill ourselves, to be refreshed by the imagination that the Grail gives to us freely and willingly. Just pick it up and drink of imagination, to see yourself as a starman, to not consider yourselves chained to this world, locked into some historical context which is framed by an ideology of weak minds and frail hearts. They are just brutally tyrannical death cults who want us to stay here. They don't want us to leave. They need us here. They need us. They need our blood. They need our death. And I'm saying, no, I don't want to do that. And I don't want you to do it either, because I need you. I need you here with me to partake in the imagination that the divine has blessed us with. And it is magnificent. And so I say thank you for attending and being here. Join me in this imaginal journey, and come see me at solospiritus.com. There, my email address is there. You can say hi, and you can send me a picture of yourself. Send me something of your life. Send me a rune. Send me some way to begin to connect to something beyond our television sets and commercials and all that. You know, I'm looking for an opportunity to think about other things, and I need you to help me in that. Amen.